Hi, it's June Just Talks, and I'm June. Lovely to meet you all. Right, as you can see, I've got a slightly different background this time. I've got, oh, sorry, wrong side. Mr. Stay Puft here. We're just chilling. We're having a fatigued day, had a busy weekend, and I'm now suffering physically, mentally. So if I do start saying uh, those things, words that aren't right, just bear with me. So that's what I'm talking about. Health conditions that impact us on a day-to-day life. I'm saying us, not just me. There are millions of people who battle. I don't like to use the word suffer because we're not. We battle, we warriors. But we put up with a lot on a daily basis around chronic pain or chronic fatigue or just managing medications. So as I said chronic health condition. I mean, we think of when you say chronic, you think of really, really bad. But it's anything, and I have Googled, it's any long-term condition that's an illness that cannot be currently cured, but can be managed with medication, treatment, and lifestyle changes. Depending on your condition, medication doesn't always help. Lifestyle changes don't always help. May help today, may not help tomorrow. So you're talking about for it to be classed, it's got to be something that's going to be last for more than a year. These are long term, but it could include. So I have fibromyalgia. I class that. Yes, I've got a bit of high blood pressure. I may not have that forever. Fibro is here. It's pain, it's fatigue. It's the sort of thing that I wouldn't wish on my worst enemy. It's such a hard thing to describe. And when you speak to anybody who's got fibromyalgia, they go, "What test did they do to tell you you had it?" The only way I can describe it is they did every test to find out what it could be, and when they couldn't diagnose me with anything else, you're left with fibromyalgia. Where we say, "Oh, so you don't know what I've got, so you just give me this." And it's a horrible condition. I've never met anybody that has the same symptoms as somebody else. Everybody's experience of this condition is so different. And as fellow warriors, we understand that. Somebody may suffer more with fatigue. Somebody may be in so much pain they're on heavy opioid medication. And we're talking morphine. We're not talking a little bit of codeine, little bit of ibuprofen. Oh, we wish. We wish that we could just pop two ibuprofen and a couple of paracetamol and the pain would go away. It doesn't. It doesn't. So, as I said, this is my experience of a chronic condition, but also a chronic condition could include something like arthritis. It's never going to get better. You are always going to have arthritis. So the person that says it must be this, must be that. No, diabetes. Sometimes diabetes can its symptoms can be reduced with certain lifestyle changes, but more often than not, once you've got, I mean, if you are type 1 diabetes, there's no lifestyle change going to change that. Type 2 diabetes, the medical profession will tell you everything, but usually once it's there, it's there. Um, High blood pressure is down as that. For some people, it's never going to change. Coronary heart disease, once your heart is diseased, you've got a chronic condition. Asthma, those lungs, they're not going to regenerate. So, with lifestyle changes, which could just be walking slower, maybe taking a different route to avoid a hill. You know what? This is me saying it. But if you've got asthma, you're going to go, yeah, 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 right. The route without the hill is always longer. So it's 6 and 2 threes. But It's tough. And the bulk of these chronic conditions are invisible. They're not to us. Um, oh, sorry about that. To us, we know they're there. We suffer. We put up with it. We struggle. And I know I said the word suffer, but we suffer with the symptoms. We don't suffer with the condition. We battle the condition, but the symptoms kill us. And you are left sometimes going, I've got to do something but today, but tomorrow I am going to struggle. So you've got to factor this in. Now, I've always used this theory called the spoon theory, where you've got a limited number of spoons to use for a day. Those spoons are your energy. Each spoon is a unit of energy. So to get up, you're going to get up and you're going to go and have a shower. And then you're going to go and make breakfast. Or they're the two things you want to do. Now, if you live in a place where your shower's upstairs, but your kitchen's downstairs, you may go, well, I'm definitely going to have that shower before I go downstairs, even for that first cuppa. Because to do those stairs down, make the cuppa, come up, and then have the shower is going to use more energy. You're going to have to use one spoon to get downstairs, one spoon to get back up. You could save two spoons. That could be spoons to have a longer shower. That could be the spoons to actually give your hair a good wash. Because sometimes just the act of holding your arms up to wash your hair, that can be too much. I've known people who will get their partners or their friend to physically, while they stand in the water, to wash their hair. And they found a way to manage their condition. And this is what some people who with chronic pain, chronic fatigue, lots of different conditions negotiate on a daily basis. Somebody recently told me that don't use the spoon theory, we use the whole cutlery drawer. And I thought, is that not just giving us more spoons to use as energy? I said, no, because there's sometimes a spoon, I know what I can do for what I call a spoon. I could go down the stairs and come back up on a good day. That's a spoon. But on a bad day when I'm really in pain and I'm really, really struggling, I don't want to go down those stairs because I know that the thought of going down them and coming back up them at some point is going to be too much. So what they say is, we'll use the whole cutlery drawer. We're going to now get the knives and forks out. And I think, "Oh, pardon?" But the more I thought about it, my interpretation of it was a knife and a fork is going to hurt more than a spoon. Okay, if you hit somebody hard enough with a spoon, it will hurt. But a fork and a knife are sharp. A spoon's blunt. So all I could left thinking was, oh my God, that fork or that knife is really going to dig in. It's really going to leave its mark. It's going to take longer to heal. I'm going to suffer. If I have to push myself far enough to use a different item from the cutlery drawer. So I just thought I wanted to share with you my experiences of pain. Those of you who know me know it. A lot of my friends all have the same sort of conditions or different invisible conditions. But honestly, if you use the spoon theory and you know that you've got this number of spoons, think of it sometimes as when you've got to push through more. I found that if I use the knife or the fork from the cutlery drawer, I'm already accepting that tomorrow's going to be a hard day because I'm recovering from that wound that that knife or fork is making. It sounds weird, it sounds mad, but to us it makes sense. So the next time somebody says to you or cancels says to you, I can't do it, or tells you again they're in pain, don't dismiss it because the pain is real. The fatigue is real. It's not just being a bit tired, it's your brain shutting down. The words don't come. I I'm sometimes lucky if I can get conversation, never mind the right word. So if they're struggling, just be there, just listen. Don't correct the words. We we do. We correct for each other. Just accept. Be there and let them know that whilst you can't always understand the amount of pain they're in, you accept that this is real and that you are going to be beside them because that means so much. Absolutely. So, whilst this little stream I've done hasn't been as light-hearted as my previous two, this is what felt right for me to do today. Whilst I'm having a bit of a fatigue and a pain day, it's what felt right. Tomorrow, I can't guarantee there'll be one. Depends on fatigue, but I may find something. I may do one regardless and tell you at the beginning if I'm fatigued. I may do one. May critique a biscuit. I don't know. It may be a cup of coffee. I don't know. I may just come on with a coffee and drink a cup of coffee with you. But you know what? We're there for each other, and that's all that matters. So take care, everyone.